Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 9 of NWA Chicago here, episode number 8 of Main Event Showcase. We stand just a little bit outside of our first ever all-in event, our second major event of the series. So I hope you guys actually appreciate the new sidebar I made. I know I switched it a while back from the double NWA sidebars to just this Chicago flag sidebar. Now I added in the NWA text. It's not really a logo, I just added in the letters NWA. I think that looks a lot better than just the blank Chicago flag I had next to it. Let me know what you guys think of that. But anyways, here we have the show. A couple of quick housekeeping things. Well, I guess I'll only go through one of the quick housekeeping things as to not ruin the show, but All In has been moved. I hadn't set up the event yet, so I just set up the event and started pre-booking things, and I realized that Saturday, week 1 of September, is not possible because Cody is booked at ROH on that date, so it will now be Tuesday, week 2 of September, is the new official date for All In. We would be talking about this in the episode, but I didn't want to add in more than I needed to. So without any further introductions, let's get into the show. In a terrible pre-show match, Christina Von Eerie defeated Zaya Brookside in 11:30 by pinfall with a double underhook facebuster. 31 E+ for the match, 31 for Von Eerie, and 25 for Brookside. So just a little women's match to keep them working. I realized I have a lot of women on my roster, actually. I don't think I've used all of them yet, but I have a solid number of women on my roster, more than I usually have for an independent company. So, yeah. Now let's get into the main card. We begin the show with a terrible match where JT Dunn and David Starr defeated If Looks Could Kill in 11:15 when David Starr defeated Greg Glover by pinfall. The match got a 32 E+. It got the show off to a strong start. 28 for Nelson, 25 for Glover, 28 for Dunn, and 32 for David Starr. Didn't realize that David Starr was actually that solid of a performer, which it's only a 32, so that's not saying a whole hell of a lot, but that's still pretty good for my undercard guys. So, good opening match there, boys. We cut backstage where Petey Williams and Scott Steiner are beating down Rocky Romero and Ricky Reyes. Petey puts Rocky's leg in a door and slams the door repeatedly. Romero writhes in pain as security rushes in to break it up. Williams and Steiner walk away laughing. So if you'll remember, Petey Williams and Scott Steiner were supposed to face the Havana Pitbulls tonight for the tag team titles. However, literally the day of this show, I find out that Rocky Romero has a partially torn ACL. So he's unable to compete tonight. I didn't know what to do, so we did this, and I'm going to try to make it up at All In. I'm going to try to not make up this match, but make it up to the hypothetical fans and you, the real fans, because you got robbed of a great match here. Petey Williams and Scott Steiner versus Rocky Romero and Ricky Reyes. Very, very disappointed in that, but a 44D for the segment isn't terrible. So Rocky Romero, he was initially supposed to be out for about 3 months. We did choose to have him get surgery, and he'll only be out for about another month now. So that's the good news. But the bad news is the title match cannot happen tonight. So this was the way to write it off. In a poor match, Ivelisse Valdez defeated Mischief in 12:24 by pinfall with a dissident. They have great chemistry, and it showed in their performance. 36 for Ivelisse, 31 for Mischief, and a 36 D- for the match. I'm very happy with that. Our women have been performing very, very well in matches recently, better than a lot of our undercard males. So I actually think I might be shifting a bit of the focus more towards women in the future. I feel like in the last few episodes I have put more of a focus on the women, but I feel like we can focus it even more in the future. Whereas maybe one day it will just be women competing on the show, which is very unlikely, but it could happen. We'll see where it takes us. And the finisher was disdain, not a dissident. After the match, Ivelisse takes to the mic, and she says, "Toni Storm, last week you made the biggest mistake of your life. You interrupted the baddest bitch in this company while she was trying to make a statement. You only won that match last week because Mischief was the weak part of our team. She's an incompetent wrestler. You didn't pin me, and you never will. I'm better than you, Toni. I'll prove it anytime you want. You're just a bump on my road to the NWA World Women's Championship. And that's all you are. A bump on the road." 33 E+ for the promo here from Ivelisse, as she calls out Toni Storm, furthering their potential rivalry. I'm happy with that, and now we move on to a match between Argos and Amasis, which was apparently terrible, when Amasis defeated Argos in 9:09 by pinfall with a 450 splash. 31 E+, yet another example of my women outperforming these men. 29 for both men. Amasis was really off his game. I expected a little bit better performance for Amasis, but it was a high spots match. That's also something to be added into this. To fit my high spots quota, get the two masked luchadors in there. I'm not really sure if you can qualify Amasis a luchador, but still a decent match. Tyler Bate makes his way into the NWA arena for his television championship challenge. 36 D- for Tyler Bate, as he quite clearly makes his way into the arena. And in a bout that had subpar wrestling in Little Heat, Tyler Bate defeated Ophidian in 12:51 by pinfall with a Tyler Driver 97. So both members of the Siren Portal have singles matches this week. Tyler Bate makes defense number 6 of his NWA World Television title. 39 for Bate, 34 for Ophidian. I think that's Tyler Bate's best performance so far, and he's really just increasing his performances. I'm very much enjoying that and really liking seeing that from Tyler Bate, because he is a guy that we are definitely looking to build in the future. 39 D- for the match. Very happy with that. Good show so far. And now, in a bout that is subpar wrestling in Little Heat, Tenille Dashwood defeated the Alpha Female in 14:09 by count out. So Tenille Dashwood gets a performance of 44, Alpha Female with a 34. So Alpha Female still technically remains unpinned and unsubmitted. This is her first technical loss in the company. She has never been pinned and submitted, and I wanted to keep it that way. I thought about having Tenille be the one to break up that, undefeated, never pinned, never submitted, but I thought just breaking the undefeated streak would be enough. So Tenille qualifies for the All-In Championship match next Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays from now, I guess, actually. 44 D for that match, and now Tenille Dashwood stands victorious in the ring. She's handed a microphone, and she says, as if there was any doubt, Kaylee Ray, I'll see you at All In. Get ready to hand me that championship. She throws the microphone down. Tenille Dashwood clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and performed well. This only received a 30 E+ rating because it was based off of Tenille's microphone and Kaylee Ray's overness, and obviously Kaylee Ray isn't super duper over, so this also does lose heat for their storyline segment, but I'm happy with it. She calls out Kaylee Ray for their all-in match. But now, we have something else. Billy Corgan, Cody, and Nick Aldis all make their entrance into the NWA arena. There's a table in the middle of them all with 2 pieces of paper on it. And Corgan says, welcome to the most historic championship contract signing in NWA history. In one corner, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the national treasure, Nick Aldis. In the other corner, the prince of the NWA, Cody, who puts his family legacy and career on the line for the chance at glory, for the chance at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And all of this will happen as these two are connected both to a bull rope at All In, Tuesday, week 2 of September. Now, gentlemen, the contracts before you have been drawn up as we agreed to them. If you would please sign them now. Cody and Aldis both sign their contracts simultaneously. They both pick them up, sign them. They put the contracts down on the table. They walk away from the table. They kind of step to the side, and both men aggressively come face to face. They headbutt kind of. They begin trash talking. The tension is palpable. Aldis pushes Cody. Cody takes a step back, and then he charges at Aldis, takes him down. He's beating him. They're brawling on the ground. The two begin brawling in the ring. The entire locker room clears. They're all running out to separate these two. Aldis is in one corner. Cody's in the other corner. The two men are viciously trying to break free. Cody's trying and trying. He's soon, taken out of the ring by the people who are restraining him. And this is how NWA Chicago this week goes off the air, with a nice pull-apart brawl after the championship contract signing. I am happy with that. 54 C-. Corgan was very underwhelming. Cody looked good. It's kind of what I expected out of that, because Billy Corgan's not really over and doesn't have super great entertainment and on-camera qualities. However, a very good segment nonetheless. A very good show here this week. I'm extremely happy with it. I think we're going to get a D- high D minus, low D, because we did have a lot of D minus segments and D segments, and we ended with a C minus, not really a lot of E segments. So I estimate a high D minus, maybe a low D, and we get the D. That was a weird sentence to say, but we got a D. For the show 44, Brian Nelson was slightly overused, and the show increased our popularity in 18 regions. Happy with that, very happy with the way this turned out this week. And now, let's see what we scored on television. Actually, let's just look here at kind of like the natural progression of the show. So we start off a little weak, we get strong, we slowly fall into a lull here before coming back up, before bringing it down, before coming back up again. I kind of like the progression of this show. It started off strong, then dipped a little bit in the middle, and then finished really strong. Very good performance from our guys. I'm very, very happy with this. Alright, so that episode of NWA Main Event Showcase was a 44D held, as always, in the NWA Arena in Chicago, Illinois, in front of 1,581 fans. On television, got a .03, 23,210 viewers, our highest viewership ever. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will join you guys next week for another fantastic episode of NWA Chicago.